it's Jordana Bryant. I'm so happy that you found my new podcast, New Friends. I wanted to create a space where we could talk about things that I feel like people our age don't really talk about. My hope is that by us kind of coming on here and talking about some of those things, that you would feel like you can have those conversations with the people in your life. I am going to be bringing on a bunch of guests. I'll also be doing some episodes that are just me answering questions. So please share your questions. Leave them in the comments. DM me on Instagram. I would love to answer as many as I can. And I really hope you'll stick with me through this journey. And thank you so much for checking this out. I can't wait to join you in the next episode. Welcome back to another episode of New Friends. I'm Jordana Bryant, and I'm so excited for today's episode. We have on such a special guest, Juliana Talbert. We met
like years ago.
I
have no idea how we met. I was 16? Thinking about it.
I was 15 turning 16. You were like probably 16, right?
I think I was 16 or 17.
And it was at this like Berklee 5-week program, right?
Yes, which is crazy.
Wait, did we have like a class? No, we were in the same dorm, weren't we?
We were in the same dorm. Because we were in that nice building.
Yes. 160.
Yes.
Oh,
guys,
amazing.
If you live in Boston, you know.
If you know, you know.
When I tell you, I was trying to think of when we met. And I can't remember how.
Me neither.
But we were just
friends. It had to have been like a dorm, like something. You know how they would do like mixers, like
for
hangouts,
sure,
whatever. But I just remember thinking that you and your friend Juliana were like the coolest. I was like, oh my gosh, like the Julianas are so fun.
Jordana, I thought the same thing about you, which is funny because all of our names are like so intertwined.
The 3 J's.
The 3 J's. But
J cubed.
J cubed. But yeah, I remember thinking you were so talented because I remember there was this like open mic night, and I remember you are like 2 years younger than me, a year younger than me.
Yeah, like a year younger, I think.
And I feel like you had this confidence, and you went up on the stage and you sang, and I was like, this girl knows what's up. And
you're so sweet.
She's got it.
Oh my gosh.
And I remember being like, I have to be friends with you.
Stop. You're so sweet. Okay, wait. And when did we write for the first time? Did we write when we were at 5 week? Or was that when you were
maybe
or was that when you were at Belmont?
I feel like it was when I went to Belmont.
I don't know. Either way, whenever we wrote, I was like, wow, she's a really good writer. Like,
oh my gosh.
She has because you have such a unique style, I feel like, about the way you write. Like, it's very, like I hear something and I'm like, yeah, that's Juliana.
Oh my gosh. You were the sweetest. Well, I remember because I saw that you were going to Belmont. On Instagram.
Yeah, because
I was like, I'm going to DM her.
I posted a video being like, I'm going to Belmont.
I was like, I'm going to DM her and tell her that I'm going to Belmont and that we need to hang out.
Happy.
I was like, we need to hang out. This was like a year later because I was going to go to Berklee.
Were you really?
Yeah. And then last minute I was like, no. Like,
wait, what made you change your mind?
I remember I'm from Colorado. So Boston was just such a long plane ride. I was like, I cannot be flying back and forth. And I applied. So I got into Berklee August of my senior year. So I was dead set. I was like, I'm not applying to any more. I applied to maybe like Boulder. And then last minute, I applied to Belmont in April of my senior year.
Oh my gosh.
Which is crazy. And then I applied for the songwriting department, got in, and I was like, I think I need to go to Nashville. And I remember deciding like on the very last night you could possibly decide. It was crazy. And so I was like reaching out to anyone because I felt so behind. Everyone knew everybody.
Everyone had their roommates probably.
Which I was so grateful because my roommate and I went to high school together. And so I kind of like knew her and I was like, okay, at least like I have somebody. But I felt behind because everyone were like DMing already. So I was like, Jordana, are you going to Belmont? Like, I need you to go.
Well, I really appreciated you including me.
Hey.
Because even though I wasn't going to Belmont, I did kind of feel the like, I'm in a different way. Like, I'm moving to Nashville and I like know no one and I don't have like friends who are my age. Like the people I know are like in their 30s, like who I'm writing with, you know?
Yeah.
And so I feel like it was so nice to like have a friend like you who would like introduce me to other people at Belmont.
Totally.
And it was It was so fun. I was actually just thinking about when we were hanging out. Do you remember that one night that your roommates decided they wanted to change your beds from us?
Yes.
It was like the second time we hung out.
I remember being like, I'm so sorry, Jordana. We have to change our room layout. Because we had a weird room.
Yeah.
It was like a corner and there was like a pole in the middle of the room.
And what did we do? We changed your bed from like a bunk bed to two beds on the ground, right?
We did. And I remember I was like sweating. I feel like we had a lot of funny memories like that freshman year.
It was a very fun experience. Haven't really had like a manual labor like friend hangout other than that.
I know. I'm like, Jordana, we need to switch my room layout. And you were like, okay.
I was like, cool.
But yeah, we switched it and it
looked
worked.
Better.
It did look a million times better.
And now that you're like on Music Row and everything and you have like an apartment and stuff. Oh my gosh, it's so nice. What a convenient location too, because it's not far from Belmont. But
it's not far from Belmont. The songwriting building is also on Music Row.
Really?
I can like walk to class.
That's awesome.
It's awesome.
And now you're interning in publishing.
Yes.
So like, how's that kind of going? Do you kind of see yourself going more in the publishing lane or still focusing on the songwriting?
I mean, I'm 21. I don't have it all figured out.
Nor do you need to.
Thank goodness I don't have it figured out. I love the business side. I've always my brain has always been very mathematical, and I've always kind of had this business-oriented mind. Both my parents own their own businesses, so I feel like it's just something that I grew up around.
Yeah.
But this semester, I've been interning in publishing, and it's been so fun. And I do think there's this mathematical, like almost a science of like putting writers together and figuring out like which combinations would create cool music.
Yeah, that's so true.
I also do think it's like strengthened my songwriting so much. Just being able to like listen to all the songs and hearing like we only hear what's on the radio. But being able to hear, the other 99% of songs that are written that don't necessarily get cut or make it out to the world, I just think it's interesting to study and like has made me, I don't know, a better writer.
No, I think that makes so much sense because I'm sure there's probably some common themes amongst the songs that don't get cut where you're like, this is a great song, but it does this one thing that I understand why it didn't get, like either chorus like doesn't feel like melodically like a shift enough, or like lyrically I feel like the verse just doesn't grab your attention, or whatever it is. I feel like you're like, oh, okay, I see these patterns that I can now learn to avoid in my songwriting.
Yeah. No, it's been so fun. I mean, hearing everyone's string throughout, like you can tell which writers are on which songs, which I think is so fun, is seeing like what string they carry throughout the songs. I remember I was talking to one of my supervisors and she said the same thing, like each writer has a certain string and a certain way that they write, which I think is such a cool way to look at it. I absolutely love it.
I think that's so interesting because I feel like a lot of songwriters too, once like at a certain point in their career were talking about or wanting to be an artist, and then they learned more about the industry and realized that, where they really wanted to be was in songwriting. And I feel like you can tell, you see their artistry in the songs, even when other people are cutting it. You're like I feel like Emily Weisband is someone who I'm like, I hear a song and I'm like, Emily wrote that. I know it.
Totally. And I have like certain writers where I'm like, on the roster, I'm like, yeah, you wrote, like I can just hear it. But it's super cool hearing, all the music. These writers are incredible.
Totally.
Incredible. And the songs that don't make it, still incredible. Like,
oh, I know. It's wild to hear the songs. I have some
favorites and I'm like, this is so good. It needs to make it out,
I know. Isn't that the hardest thing when you hear a song and you're like, you need to...
Right?
Someone needs to cut that.
Somebody needs to.
But I feel like at least it gives you hope that... I hear so many stories about like this song sat on the shelf for 7 years and it finally got cut and now it's number one or whatever.
Totally.
Like even if it has been a few years and it hasn't gotten cut, there's always still a chance that it could.
A great song will always stay a great song,
That's so true. That's so true. So do you think you still would ever like consider putting out music?
This is the age-old question, right? I like would love to, my dream world would be being like not a ghost singer, because I don't even know if that's a term, but I would love to sing on EDM stuff.
Oh.
I don't know if I personally ever want to release music.
I get that.
Which is, I don't know. I feel like maybe later in life, I definitely would be open to that.
I feel like you have a great voice, and I could totally see it on like EDM songs and stuff where it is like, I don't know, I feel like all of those DJ songs, it's like whoever's singing it has a really cool tone always whenever I hear that stuff, and I could totally see that.
Wait, that's so kind.
No, I love your voice.
Oh, thank you, Jordana. I'm obsessed with your voice. I know, this is going to be us like complimenting each other.
So, welcome to 30 Minutes of Compliments with J Squared.
No, literally. But yeah, I would love to sing on EDM stuff. I mean, I love writing. I love helping other people kind of get out what they're trying to say. I also just feel like I love singing. I mean, I love performing. I love that aspect of it all too. So, I mean, I'm not closing it out ever.
Yeah, totally. And I feel like every chapter has its own like purpose, and maybe, you know, in a new chapter you'll find that you want to pursue that, or maybe not.
Right.
And like that's the beauty of life and being in the music industry.
I know. It's crazy. It's ever changing, ever evolving.
It's so true. So true.
It's never too late to reinvent yourself.
That's so true. Can we talk about Belmont for a second? Because
let's talk about
clearly one of us went and one of us didn't. How do you feel like the experience was going to a college that was like far away from home and like having to make new friends? Because I feel like when I met you at Berklee, I don't know, like I feel like I always like you and Juliana, Juliana, because there's two of them.
It's too many.
We're so close.
Yeah.
And when you have like a best friend like that, it has to be hard, you know, going to two different colleges that are super far away. And like, how do you stay close with people from home?
Totally. I am probably the worst person to stay close to because I'm so bad at texting people and communicating online. I feel like I have like a million unread texts.
Same.
I'm the worst.
I hate texting.
But I hate it.
It's horrible.
Get rid of it.
Cancel it.
Cancel it. Canceling texting 2025. But I will have to say Juliana and I have been friends since we were 11 years old.
Wow.
Which is crazy. 10 years.
That's crazy.
And she is one person where we don't need to text. It's like when I see her and it's like everything is back to normal, which I think is so funny.
I love that.
And she's also visited Nashville a couple of times and knows all of my friends, which is always just so fun. And so when I come home to Denver, if we're both in Denver at the same time, you know, she knows who I'm talking about and she can like stay caught up. And I feel like another great thing about our friendship is she is also a music girl. And she goes to UCLA and she has been crushing it over there. I know this past summer she got to work for UMG,
oh my gosh,
doing all that fun stuff. And I don't know, we always love talking music. So I feel like that's another thing that we always stay in touch with, you know, all things Taylor Swift. We're always texting each other like stuff about that. But yeah, I definitely think going to college it's hard to balance friendship. Also like contacting your family. I try to call my mom like once a day, but it feels like you're in a different world.
Yeah, that's so true.
I'm sure, I mean, you moved to Nashville too. And I'm sure you've experienced kind of like the same struggles of having friends still at home and, you know, balancing new life and old life at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, I think that like I so relate to what you said. I'm horrible at texting. I feel like it feels like, and this sounds so bad because as much as I love like talking with the people that, you know, I'm not in the same city with, it feels like such a like another task on my list like every day to respond to these texts. And so well, I'm sorry. But I much prefer FaceTiming
Me
or like
too.
voice texts. I feel like honestly,
Amazing.
voice texts make me feel closer to someone than like
Yeah.
just reading their words like in a long paragraph. I feel like when we're voice texting, I'm still hearing their voice, and so it feels like we're, you know, like we're not super far apart. But honestly, I feel like the longer I've been in Nashville, the less close I am with people that I was friends with at home.
agree.
Like, because yeah, I guess it's like hard when you're not seeing people all the time. Like, I had one friend who I was really close with and I've been friends with my whole life, and honestly, like, we haven't talked since December, and it's just one of those things where I feel like eventually when like she's in college and I'm in Nashville and we're both like busy, it's just become like I don't know, we don't have a ton to talk about, and we don't, like, especially too because she's not in music, and so like a lot of the things, and I'm not in her world of like, she's studying, you know, international relations, international studies, so like there's things that we don't get about each other's worlds, which is really hard because it's like you want to keep those friendships, but sometimes you know, it's kind of, I don't know, it's not possible. And I don't want to say it's not possible because obviously people make it work, but like sometimes, you know, life happens, and
Yeah.
you know.
Well, and you know, I was talking to my roommate about this. It's funny because I feel like I saw this somewhere where it's like the 7-year friendship rule. I don't know. Apparently there's all
Really?
these theories out there. Like
Okay,
the
what's
April
the-
theory, 7-year friendship
Wait,
rule.
I haven't heard any of these theories.
Oh, let's get into it.
Tell me.
It might be 6. I think it's 7 though, where it's like your friend group will completely change every 7 years, which is such an interesting thought.
That honestly makes so much sense though.
Like your people around you change every 7 years.
Who were my friends when I was 12? Yeah. Honestly, I
I
don't
mean,
talk to like
right?
any of them really.
Like your group changes.
That's so true.
And I think it's a thing of evolving. And I think you'll always have like certain people where it's like you'll always be friends with them.
yeah.
But I agree, like worlds change. And especially being in college where I feel like life is so fast paced right now, it's hard to catch up people to your life now.
Yeah,
You know?
and you kind of do, I guess, have to prioritize when you have that like free 20 minutes or that free, you know, 15-minute drive. Who are you going to call? Like, you don't have time to call everyone. Are you going to
Exactly.
call your mom? Are you going
Yeah.
to call your friend? Like, you do kind of have to like prioritize which relationships you want to, you know, make sure to stay connected with.
Yeah.
That's so interesting. No, I mean, I think also like the love, what I would say is the love that you have for your friends doesn't change. And even if
Yeah.
I'm not like talking to people anymore, like I still wish those people the best and have so much love for them. But like it just, you know, sometimes life works out that if we were in the same city, we would be best friends. And
Totally.
because we're not, like we're not.
Totally. And it's interesting. I mean, even coming to Nashville, creating all these new friends, like I still have seen like seasons of friends in Nashville, you know?
Yeah.
Like some people I used to be really close with freshman year that I now don't talk to as much as I used to. And
That's
like
such a good point, especially with like sororities and stuff.
Yes.
Because do you feel like your friends have changed a lot since you've joined a sorority?
Totally. So I was not planning on rushing at
Really?
all. I feel like I was just more of like, I want to go to music school and like stay underground and indie. I was like, I'm not a sorority girl. Well,
She's a sorority girl.
I'm a part of a sorority now. And I was so timid and I was so scared to be a part of the sorority because I felt like everybody knew each other already.
Really?
And I was like, I don't know anybody, which is the biggest lie I've ever told myself ever.
Wait, why do you feel like you felt like they knew everyone?
Because I come into this big room and they're all like, all friends. And I remember thinking to myself, I don't know any of these girls. Like, they all already know each other. I mean, story of everyone's life, though. Like, you enter Belmont orientation and it feels as if everyone is already best friends, even though they are not, you know?
That's so true.
But it took a long time for me to find my group and find you. I would say at least a semester of being in it.
Really?
Where I feel I met the people who I'm friends with now.
Good for you for sticking it out, because I feel like a lot of people would dismiss it after a month and be like, nope, my people aren't here. I'm going to drop.
Totally.
This isn't my, posse, my vibe.
My vibe. But now it's funny because, I mean, I had this really tight group of friends freshman year who I still love dearly, but we hang out probably like once a semester. Whereas now I feel more attached to my sorority friends because I see them more often. And that's like tale as old as time. I see you more often. So we're probably going to be more in the loop of each other's lives.
I totally agree with that. So dating at Belmont.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it, because I feel like Belmont is such a unique school.
The most unique.
When it comes to dating. Isn't it like 70% girls?
70% girls sounds about right.
So not super ideal.
Not super ideal. I mean, and there's, I think, the 5 Gs of Belmont for guys.
Tell us the 5 Gs.
Let me see if I can remember all of them. Guitar. So they're into guitar.
Yeah.
Gym bros.
Oh.
See, this is where I'm like spacing. I know there's 5 Gs. Gym, guitar. Some of them are gay. Then there's girlfriend. They have a girlfriend.
Yes.
It might be 5 Gs actually.
4 Gs?
5. Gym, guitar. The fact that I'm trying to think of all these. Gym, guitar, girlfriend, gay. And I feel like gamers.
That's like a
So
that's a part of the
guy
population.
I'm probably missing one more, honestly. My memory is terrible. But
wow.
5 Gs. Gym, guitar, gamers, gay, girlfriend.
Yeah, that
So
doesn't.
those are the categories that I feel like the Belmont men fit in.
Which category do you like?
Honestly, if I had to choose, I feel like guitar or a gamer.
Really?
I feel like in my head, like gamer would be not terrible.
I feel like I would kind of...
Oh, God. God is the last G.
Oh, yes.
Sorry.
Yes.
So they're Christians.
Yeah.
I feel like I would choose God.
Yes.
Gamer.
God. I don't know if I would like a gamer, because I'm kind of like, I don't know. I like to be outside. Like, get off your phone. Like, I'm not really someone who loves being on my phone more than I have to, or like on a screen.
I agree. I feel like it has to be balanced, like maybe 20 minutes a day. But I guess, are you a gamer if you only game? Maybe not
these
gamer.
These are people who are like 3 hours.
These are 3 hours. Never mind.
Gym bro probably has a good body, and
right?
And will inspire me to get in the gym.
Totally.
Perhaps,
totally. But that's like kind of a joke, the 5 Gs or 6 Gs. I'm glad I came up with all of them. I was like,
that's impressive.
What are they all? I used to know them like on the top of my head.
Yeah.
It'd be like mom, dad. They're like, so are you dating anyone? I was like, mom, dad.
Like, no.
The 6 Gs. Let's remember.
Yeah.
But dating at Belmont is interesting. I would say some of my friends are in like very happy relationships. But these are the friends that met them like freshman year, day one.
Do you feel like the good ones all are taken by freshman year?
Yes and no, because it's funny. Because I feel like unexpected characters show up in your life, like at random points. Like I have a friend right now. She's talking to this guy, and I'm like, where did he come from?
Yeah.
Like,
where did you meet him?
How did I not know? Oh, this is a funny story. How did we not know of him? Basically, it was after church, and our one friend knew these 2 boys, and then we all got brunch after church. It was so random.
Wait, how wholesome. I love that.
How wholesome, right? But
wait, whatever happened to
my crush?
Yes.
My crush was the craziest like story ever.
Wait, tell the story.
So let's talk about it.
No judgment. This is a judgment-free circle.
Judgment-free circle. So basically, I like this guy who I'd been friends with for like a very long time. And I, didn't think I liked him for a long time. And then I came back to Belmont and I was like, well, maybe I do like him. Anyways, so I heard how does this story go? basically, I was talking to my roommate, Allie. I was like, Allie, I think I really like him. Like, I can't believe I'm saying this out loud because we've been best friends for so long. And she was like, oh my gosh, girl, I've got you. Like, he so likes you back. And this is where it starts becoming tragic because everybody is telling me like, oh my gosh, he so likes you back. Like, totally. And then, so we go out to Broadway, and it was after this event at Belmont. I don't even know what event it was. And everyone is at Friends in low places. And let me tell you, Friends is a low place. I feel like every time I'm there, bad things happen.
No.
So this is kind of a sad story, but there's hope at the end of it. Okay. Basically, we get there, and Allie and my other roommate, Karis, are like running around being like, oh my gosh, we have to tell Zach, like, she likes him. And so I went on a date the week previously. This is important to know. And I remember telling my friend that the guy I liked that I was going on a date, and I remember him getting really annoyed, like upset about it. So
really?
Allie and Karis were going to go up to him and be like, okay, let's talk about Juliana's date last week and see like if he would get annoyed about it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Like if he's jealous.
Right? And so they go up to him and they're like, so what about Juliana's date last week? And he was like so confused by it. And then I think they finally told him that I liked him. And I don't even know if like I got an answer that night. So then it's spring break. So I go to Florida with my friends for spring break being like, I don't think he likes me, guys. Like, I don't know. I don't think he likes me. And then we come back and somehow end up at Friends, a low place again. And this was on my birthday party. It wasn't my birthday. My birthday happened a couple weeks prior, but it was like my birthday celebration. Yeah. And I remember you were there, right?
I was there.
And he pulls my friend Allie to the side and was like, I've been thinking a lot about it, but I just don't think I like Juliana like that.
Wait.
But I'll always continue showing up for her. And I'm sitting here being like, oh my gosh, so you're telling my friends that like you don't like me.
I did not hear that.
Isn't that crazy?
Ugh.
It's okay.
I'm sorry.
But it's still fine because we're still good friends.
Okay.
So it didn't get that messed up.
You feel like you guys can still be friends without it getting weird?
I mean, I remember I came up to him that night and was like, we've got a lot to talk about. I think a lot of things have gotten over dramatized. Trying to be like, I think things have gotten over dramatized because I feel like people were telling him like I really liked him.
Yeah, they were making it seem like you were in love with him.
Totally.
And you're like, no.
And he was like, yeah, let's go talk about it. But then we never talked about it. But I feel like there's nothing, I don't know. We've hung out a lot of times after.
And it's just chill.
And it's chill.
You know what? I feel like sometimes those things, if you don't like over talk about it and make it into this huge thing, if you just like brush it away, it ends up being fine.
Well, and then here's another thing that I feel like I've learned is if you like somebody, it shouldn't be embarrassing.
I agree with that.
So I was talking to Allie again, my roommate, and we should be proud to have crushes. When did it become such a thing to be like so scared to admit that you like somebody? Like, I wish I would have just gone up to him and been like, I like you. And then if he rejected, he rejected. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, like a crush is a crush.
That's such a good perspective on it because I feel like, yeah, like where does the fear come from? I guess it's like, I'm afraid that they're not going to like me, or I'm afraid that they're going to tell everyone that like I like them. But who cares? Like, who cares? If that says something more about them if they're like, oh, haha, can you believe Juliana likes me?
Totally.
That's kind of very unflattering.
I agree. But it was very confusing because this guy would still show up to like every single event that I had. And everyone was like, oh, Juliana, he likes you. Juliana, he likes you. And I was like, I don't even know what to believe anymore. But
our friends also make us so delusional. Like,
right?
And I get it because I, as a friend too, can totally be that one that's like, no, he's so into you, girl. He texted you back in only 2 hours. He's so into you.
No, literally. But then that brings up like a good point is like, I feel like if a guy's into you, like he'll make it known.
You know, yeah, for sure. I totally agree with that.
But yeah, the whole crush thing kind of failed. But I feel like I took a valuable lesson out of it.
You know what? That's the way to look at it. As long as you learn something, it's a success.
But that's Belmont encompassed. It's like I see this happen all the time at Belmont. These really cute, hyping myself up right now. These really cute girls are like going for guys who are also super cool. You know what I mean? But I do think because there are more girls than guys, I feel like guys get this complex that, you know,
that they're like
cool,
so in demand.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's
right?
very true.
If that makes sense.
I feel like there's also something that I've heard people use in many different circumstances. Belmont eyes, vacation eyes, camp eyes. Whenever there's a small population of people, you are like, the way you see them is so much better than they actually are.
I agree with this.
Because there's only a few of them, you know? So you're like,
I know.
Well, you know what? Or like when they're like, and this is so mean, I'm sorry, but how people will be like a Nashville or like a Nashville 10 is like an LA 6. You know?
I hear this all the time. Your perception of guys becomes so different at Belmont.
Yeah.
So different.
You're
but
like,
it's
wait,
not.
He's breathing.
He's breathing. I want him. He's breathing. Sign me up.
Wait. Okay. What are your icks for guys that you're like, no?
You know what? I feel like an ick for a guy. There's a couple. I would say, but I think it's just like more connected to he's just not that into you. So like if he's not making time for you, that's an ick for me. But maybe he's just like not that into you.
Yeah.
Right? Or I don't like lies. I feel like that's icky.
I agree.
Making excuses.
Yes.
Icky.
Wait, your icks are like actually like good things. My icks are like
a funny
hair.
ick. A funny yours is facial hair. I honestly don't mind facial hair.
Okay, you know what? If it's like all connected, fine. But
if it's like stubby,
just a mustache, like no.
I'm trying to think of an ick.
Or like I really hate it when guys call me baby.
Oh, I don't like that.
Oh,
I do not like that.
Fine. Like, babe,
I feel like I don't
cool.
like pet names.
But I'm not a huge pet name person. Like, you call me a nickname like Jay or
also,
something.
PDA in public. Ick.
Oh, ick.
Ick. I don't like PDA.
So uncomfortable.
I think it's so uncomfortable.
Especially around, like, your family. I'm like, oh my God.
Family, friends, any of it. Not.
Strangers.
No.
Ick.
Like, hate.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of more funny ones. I always like... The one that I always hear is a guy chasing after like a tennis ball and ping pong or like the little ping pong ball. I feel like that's always a fun one.
Yeah.
But I also do think every single person I've liked has had a huge ick and I just get over it.
No, that's so true. That's so true.
I can think of a million icks.
Oh my gosh.
Of everyone I've liked.
That is such a good point. I feel like after I'm over someone, I'm just like,
what was I thinking?
Ranting to my friends for like 10 hours. And he did this and he did this.
I know. And you're just like, what was I thinking?
But you know what? It was, you had your Belmont eyes on. So
I had my Belmont eyes on.
You can't blame yourself.
You can't blame yourself. But also I do have to say, you can like weird people. And weird, you can like the strangest of people, and that's okay too.
That's okay.
You know
you
can like your Belmont 10 LA 6. But that's a great like theory, or like,
and it's not just like a looks thing. I just mean like a personality thing too, because you could be like, wait, this person like barely puts any time or effort into our relationship, but like because there's only so few options, you're like, okay, I guess like I'll take it,
right?
You know? Whereas if you were looking at a larger, group of people, you might be like, oh, there's someone out there who would actually like call me back and like text me good morning.
Totally.
Not just like,
I'm curious, what are your icks?
What are my icks? I mean, some of mine are definitely like what you said of like, I hate it when someone takes like a day to respond, like, or multiple days to respond to my text. Like, I'm super busy. I get it. If it takes a few hours, fine. But do not like take a day. I was recently just like talking with this guy for a minute who would literally open my messages on Instagram, show them a scene, and like leave them for days and like respond days later.
I hate that.
It's such an ick.
And then it becomes like the chase. Then in your head, you're like, well, what do I have to do to get this guy's attention?
I know, right?
And then it's like the chase.
It really is.
It's so easy to fall victim to the chase.
It is. Oh, you know what? This is like a petty ick, but I hate when guys wear sandals.
Really?
I'm not a
like
not a
socks
flip-flop.
and stocks. Are you fine with that?
Like Birkenstocks?
Yeah.
I mean, it's better than sandals. I'm not like, but like.
But if I see your feet,
get them away.
Get them out of here. Actually, I can relate to that. I don't really love it when guys wear flip-flops for no reason. If we're at the beach, valid.
But like,
I better not see your
wearing
toes.
them? Especially like when I'm riding with guys.
They wear flip-flops?
This one guy who I love, he's like a big brother to me. He'll sometimes wear flip-flops when we ride, and I need to talk to him. I'm like, this is wrong.
I need to pull him to the side next time.
But yeah, I feel like an ick should just be like, if you're not putting enough effort into this, or if you like treat me like you're better than me, and like you're
cooler than me. I hate that.
Or like my time doesn't matter. Like I'll just be cool with it if you treat me like garbage.
Right?
Like,
right.
No.
Literally.
No.
And I've had a talk about standards with all my friends. Like,
yes.
What are reasonable standards to have? Like, what are some baseline things that a guy should have? And then what are things that, it's okay. Like if they're shorter than you, that doesn't bug me. Like that's okay. Or like some things like that.
Like find it, like if you find it like a big problem that you're shorter than me and I can't wear heels.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, ick. Because we're tall. So
we are tall girls, guys.
Flats, I just don't like flats. I'm like, I can't wear them. So you need to be okay with me being taller than you.
Totally. Yeah. No, I feel like I've had this talk a lot recently is like, what are the things that are non-negotiables? And then what are you kind of like willing to bend?
That's such an interesting question. Yeah, I feel like it's honestly like mutual respect.
Right?
And like similar values.
Just be normal.
Just be like a good guy.
Right?
Is it that hard?
Well, and also I truly do believe if you're starting something, it should be so easy. It should not be complicated at the beginning, or else it's going to be complicated throughout the relationship.
And like if it's a bunch of like, ups and downs and like dopamine hits of like, he finally texted me back. Oh my God. Like,
I don't think it's the one.
Probably not the best relationship.
I don't think it's the one for you. Yeah, but I do not think my husband is at Belmont, unfortunately.
You know what? That's okay.
But maybe, okay.
Not everyone meets their person at college.
Again, unexpected characters. Maybe senior year, something will happen, right?
So maybe a year from now, we'll film another episode.
Right?
And hopefully we'll both have blossoming
I got a ring on my finger.
Whoa.
I'm just kidding.
Maybe not.
Whoa.
Maybe not that far.
I know. I'm like, I can't even imagine getting married right now.
I know, right?
And there's this girl who I went to middle school right now.
Engaged.
Married and all.
Married. Someone I met when I just moved to Nashville, when I was like, it was literally like, June or whatever of 2022. And we were going to this like youth group at Cross Point Church. Yeah. And she just got engaged. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Like.
Different stage of life, right?
Different stage of life. Wild.
I'm like, I'm just trying to graduate.
I'm just trying to make it through the day.
No, seriously.
Thank you so much for coming on. I had the best time talking.
Wait, this was so much fun.
I'm so glad that we got to do this.
I know. Thank goodness. J squared.
Seriously. J squared. And thank you guys for watching. And I am so happy that we got to do another episode of New Friends. Make sure to like, subscribe, and follow on Instagram for more episodes.